Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, we are back for another episode. Only Pod can judge us.
Come
Me,
on.
we,
Come
you.
on.
That's right.
And that's the bottom line. I'm your host, the big fella D King. I got my main man to the left.
R to the K, a.k.a. Illogic, a.k.a. Illogic 100. Holla at me.
And my main man to the right.
Come on, man. Y'all know who it is. Wayne D253, Wayne D the barber, man. But before we get started, man, look, man, I've been missing y'all, man. Look, it's a pleasure getting back in the office with y'all, man. I love y'all and I appreciate what y'all do. But smash the like button, y'all. Like, subscribe, share, man. We appreciate the support y'all give us, man. We appreciate the feedback, man. We just out here, just three brothers just trying to do it, man.
That's right.
Come on.
That's it, man. Hey, man, we just celebrated a very prestigious week.
Yeah.
In the world overall, Easter, man. What did it mean to you guys?
Yeah, for me, I take the biblical standpoint on it. Easter's fine, with the Easter eggs, but I take the resurrection side of it. So we celebrated resurrection, that our Christ was crucified, buried, and 3 days on that Sunday, rose with all power, and so now we all have access. That's crazy to me. And the missus was just praying for that this morning, that those that were back in times did not have the access that we had until that Sunday. And once that Sunday, he deposited his Holy Spirit inside of everybody. Now they be able to access the throne themselves. But that's crazy to believe that at one point in time you had to go to a priest or go to somebody for them on your behalf of the Lord. But on that day, now everybody obtained access to it. So
That's what's up.
So what happens to all the souls that before all that?
you have to go to like a high priest or like a person and be like, this is what I did, this is my sin. Almost like one of them confession, how them Catholics have the little confession things.
Yeah.
And then they say they go to the Lord, they hear your prayers, and I guess they're supposed to be like a God or whatever it is, or hearing from God to answer your prayers, like somebody on the other side or whatever it is. But that's the same thing, kind of how you had to do back in those days. You had to go to a priest, let him know what you had did, and he went to the Lord on your behalf. When the veil was torn, now you had access yourself. Everyone has Christ inside of them now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. For me, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's it's Easter Sunday, it's resurrection day, you know what I mean? I never really, I don't really think, I don't know. I know it's like the one of the pinnacles of the Christian faith, you know what I'm saying? But I don't it's not like something that I really trip off of that much, if I could say that.
Got you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I look at it that somebody that was actually touch earth, that was so selfless about themselves and cared just about the future. And the future, obviously, we would say is now, but a lot of people say the future could have been 100 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So for everybody to have the opportunity, equal opportunity to be able to live and do the right thing in order to join where people go, where it's a safety net, which is heaven. You know what I'm saying? Where he just redeemed mankind as a whole and it gave everybody a chance at the tree of life, which is just so, when you think about going through things, I asked somebody, do you think that they can bear what they saw him go through? Like Mel Gibson did probably the closest narration in that movie, Passion of the Christ.
Which was a cold.
Yeah, to kind of see who really would have did that as a human. So many people would have gave up or just kill me now. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just so selfless, and I appreciate it. And like I said, I've all my life of being able to grow up and know what it's really the real meaning is that it's Christ. So that's my perspective.
Yeah. And then also, just piggybacking off what you're saying about Christ, is like, the crazy part about that is he already knew what he had to endure. He knew what was coming. That's like us knowing what tomorrow brings, but yet still we sacrifice ourselves and go through it. Because he could have got out of it at any time and told his father, look, this is too much for me. I know what I got to do. I'm not doing it, and I'm going to go to heaven. But yet still, that's somebody who's human, who endured something that he knew he would go through. And so that's what's like.
That's real.
So what about the forsaking me part of it? You know what I'm saying?
He knew what he had to do.
Came out.
But his physical, he was like, look, I know what I have to do, but Lord, this is becoming too much for me. I don't want to do it, but I'm going to let your will be done. And so then Lord, the Spirit came on him, and then he kind of carried it out. But he was at the point where he was like, I know what I gotta do, bro. Like I can't do it.
You know, if you're at your wit's end with something, and it's just like enough is enough. That was the human form. Like he showed that he was human. That's where humanity comes in. Like, why is thou forsaken me? Like, hey, I got to get out of here. You know what I'm saying? This ain't it. And I just couldn't imagine with the things that they say or how the Bible speaks on it is the nails that were drawn. This wasn't no regular nail. This was a stake. You know, that drove through his hands and his feet and piercing him in the side and with a sword and just never said a mumbling word. That kind of stuff is just, it gives me chills to think about it because I just don't know just a normal human being just in this everyday walk that would even be willing to sacrifice anything like that.
Not for something that you ain't did anything.
Right.
It's like you ain't never. When we say we've never done nothing wrong, like he literally, like there was nothing the guy did wrong, like nothing. Like no thought came to his head that was wrong. No, I want to attack you that was wrong. Like no, like he did no sin. A only man who knew no sin.
I mean, he's the only
human.
He's the only true person that was born without the normal way of making a kid. You know what I'm saying? It's like it just is deeper. It's deeper than rap when you actually think about it. But like I said, we got a chance to live again. Is really the thing. You know what I'm saying? Becoming better people every day, and I think that's something that we definitely should always strive. And you out there, you can let us know your perspective on it. We just celebrated the resurrection, and like I said, very, very important and sacred to the Christian faith. And just giving it's just and when you take some time to read about it, and you can do some history on it. It'll make you look at it from a different perspective. So, but we're gonna get started, gentlemen. You guys ready?
Let's go.
Hard hitting.
Come on.
There was a big-time boxing match this weekend, but the results didn't become as big as – and lately this has been happening, gentlemen. The fights are really talked up.
When
the fights are actually happening, the results are not really where they are. So we got Isaac Pitbull Cruz, and Rolly Romero, which I don't even like his face. So I don't like that guy. And I'm glad the results of what happened, but it's – I think people are trying to talk him up to make it seem like he's something, and he's got 16 fights. That's just not enough. He don't got enough experience to be fighting with these people that are considered as on the stage. What's you guys' perspective on that? They're trying to crown
and
new
trying to
people,
say he's the next one up that he can now. Because I even seen something that popped up on the internet is this: if he was pound for pound, and they had him, Tank, Shakur, Devin, and somebody else in there, and they were like, "Is he on the level?" And I'm thinking to myself, like you said, like not yet. Let's not speed up the process. Like let's not crown. And I'm not. I agree, but I'm like, bro, let's not speed it up. Like the kid got talent. I believe he does have talent, but at the same time, I'm like,
is he elite?
There's levels. Come on, man. There's levels.
That's
there's
it right
there's
there.
levels.
And
So
he ain't on that, man. Isaac Pitbull Cruz was on him. Imagine you going into somebody's yard, and you jump over the fence,
and he jumps out.
That pit bull is loose, and it's the fence is you. Then it's him standing there. Do you think you have a chance of going this way?
Door, getting some mail.
You don't got a chance to go that way
no mail
at all. And that's how Pitbull Cruz. He jumped on him. He jumped on him 7th round. The referee stopped the fight.
I did see.
He was getting beat up so bad.
I did.
I believe it though. I there's always going to be these guys in boxing that they're going to promote, and and I think the boxing needs a character like that. I mean, he's like basically like my guy AB for right now. He's that guy that
for real.
Everybody looks at to say, okay, he's going to spice it up and keep the conversation interesting. But in his case, he's got to get some W's under his belt. You know what I mean? He's got to the big stage.
Got to the big ones, and he has.
He's knocked out in the big fights.
Yeah. So he just collecting money right now. You know what I'm saying? He's not looking like a real competitor.
But the thing to me is like, how do you continue to get action? Like what are you doing? Like,
because
how
guys
do you continue?
You need to have an easy target for your
spar,
guy.
like, look, this
your
is
guy's on the rise. You need to have somebody that you
say,
can put in there and say, oh, he's a name.
Yeah, he's a name. And I want to put my guy in this.
Yeah, my guy's going to look good.
Yeah.
But can we be honest, though? When he fought the 40-year-old, he lost that fight.
Oh, he lost that one.
But they gave him the title.
Yeah.
But they gave him the
title.
title.
Gave the title. You see what I'm saying?
No, he lost that one.
Because Tank just kind of lured him in.
Yeah.
Rolly was punching wild and trying to punch hard to take Tank's head off.
Man.
And Tank
Yeah.
just opened him up.
Yeah.
Like a
You
can
seen
of
it
tuna
coming.
fish.
Yeah.
It just, that bloop, and it looked
Yeah.
real gentle, but
How many 7th-round knockouts does Rolly got? Like,
Right.
he be getting knocked out in the 7th a lot. 'Cause I think Tank knocked him out in the 7th also. Like,
he don't got no longevity.
yeah,
or
his
endurance,
win
man.
is 7th by the time.
Right.
I think Tank's might have been either 7th or 8th
It was
because I remember
7th.
calling
It was
around
7th.
that time, 7th or
Yeah.
8th he got knocked out. I'm like, bro, this guy.
I'm not buying it with Rolly
I'm not.
Romero.
I'm not either.
I'm not
No.
buying it. I'm
Yeah.
not buying it.
I don't
selling,
know if
huh?
I ever bought it.
I'm
Like,
selling for
yeah,
sure.
I don't know if I ever bought it. I'm not buying Ryan either, Garcia. Because he's in the same boat. Like,
I disagree.
I'm not buying Ryan yet either. Like, Ryan, how he came onto the scene, how he YouTubed, how he was doing all the little speedy, like, he's okay, but I'm not buying it for you to put him in the elite.
So can I say something?
Go ahead.
Okay. He fought the wrong person first.
He was trying to make a name.
Right, but you didn't have to do that one.
Yeah,
His promoters
Yeah.
put him in a bad spot of being a kid and not
Yeah.
knowing the business.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have fought him first.
They were trying to get a check.
Yeah, so for Ryan, it should have been a Cruz Romero or
I
a
agree.
Romero Cruz pathway.
Right.
Yeah.
How he's doing
Yeah.
it.
Cambosis.
Right.
Work his
Yeah.
way up.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I agree.
They threw him out there like
You
red
threw
meat
him-
for the
they
money.
threw- They threw him to the wolves.
And he had a problem with it. He called De La Hoya and them out on
Right.
that too. So
But at the same time, he was saying I wanted it.
He has
Not
to
only
say
that
that
because of the
the promotion.
paycheck.
He
Well, that
gotta
and the
say it.
paycheck was a lot too.
and he had a lot of doubts because he went through the head. You know, his mental health was questioned
Oh,
and
yeah,
everything.
yeah,
so
yeah.
he went through a lot to get to that fight. So they put him on the stage with
And
the
said,
wrong
look,
guy.
yeah,
That's what happened.
They had everything
That's what I'm
going.
saying.
Yeah.
in that class, like everything.
Yeah.
So, for example,
Yeah,
Cruz was 25-2. Romero was 15-1.
yeah.
That don't even line up when you look at the scorecard. I mean, when you look at lining up, it's just not enough experience in a big enough fights.
Yeah,
That's because them guys are fighting off the fame of getting beat by Davis.
yeah. Trying to beat Dave.
Yeah,
They made a name by getting in the ring with Tank.
Exactly.
And got beat by him. So they're like, whoever cares. Look, I fought Tank. I'm the guy. Like, right?
Yeah,
That's what I'm like,
yeah.
bro. Like,
I lost, but I'm
AD
the
kind of
guy.
was that same way. Like, I fought your guys and I lost, but I'm the gatekeeper now.
Yep.
Go do me to go fight your pros. Like,
Yep.
like that's what I'm
Exactly.
saying. You get knocked out or dusted off, but you with the
Because Marcus
gatekeeper.
Maidana, what he was
Yeah.
doing, that's how Pitbull
Right.
Cruz was
I agree.
unrolling.
Yeah,
He was
that's good.
on his
Yep.
helmet.
Yep.
He did not let him
Yep.
breathe.
That's
So
good.
bad to the point where he was punching in the wrong areas and the referee
Man.
had to stop it. So you guys got to give me your predictions
I gotta
because
see that fight.
these are the up and coming big ones. So you got Lomachenko, which is 17-3, and then you got Cambosis, which is 22-2.
Wait. Lomachenko got less fights
Yes.
than Cambosis?
Yes.
Oh, wow. I know he took a long time off though.
Yeah, he did. And
Yeah.
everybody calling him a veteran. I'm like, bro, he got 20 professional fights. That's
I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't think Lomo. I knew he wasn't around that long, but I thought Lomo had a lot more than that.
Who you
I would
guys
have
got
thought.
in that fight?
I think that's going to be a great fight, though. I
Yeah.
think the thing about it is, regardless, that's going to be a fight to watch. If you
think
if
so.
you enjoy boxing, you want to see two guys slug.
Tell the people why.
I mean, because it's going to be a slugfest.
Yeah.
You know,
Got you.
both these guys, Cambosis is not going to back down.
Right.
Lomachenko's not going to
Yeah.
back down. He's going to keep coming forward. It's going to be a really good fight to watch.
Yeah.
Who's going to walk out of there with the victor? I'm not sure.
But if you got to be, you got to take a pick. So,
If I got to take a pick, I'll say I'm going with the younger guy. I'm going with Cambosis.
okay,
With the longer resume.
What's your take?
Man, that's crazy. I was gonna go Gambosis, but then Lomachenko, like he said, he just puts his head down and keeps going. Who did he just fight? But he lost to him though.
Devin Haney.
Devin Haney
Not
was
Devin
the
Haney,
last-
but
That was his last fight.
he lost to
Devin Haney
somebody.
was his last fight.
It was like another Mexican.
You talking about what's his name? The guy that retired after he fought him?
Teofimo Lopez.
Teofimo.
Yeah, Teofimo.
Yeah.
And then Teofimo beat
Yeah.
Lomo.
Yeah, he did.
And that's when they were talking about Teofimo being pound for pound up there with the
Did Teofimo?
Teofimo beat him. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah,
Tia,
because Cambosis beat Teofimo.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I think they all beat each other.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's why I say, well, it's styles that make fights. Because I was gonna
that's a
pick.
fact. That's a fact.
I was gonna pick Lomachenko, but I'm like, man, really thinking about it, Gambosis will come downhill almost like how Teofimo did. Because that's how Teofimo beat.
But the thing is,
Lomachenko.
Cambosis, can he handle the power of Lomachenko.
That's true too.
Can he handle his power?
I ain't never seen. Well,
Lomo was a little older now. If it was 10 years ago,
I agree.
I'd
yeah.
give the edge to Lomachenko.
Yeah, you're right.
I'd have said
You're
Lomachenko easily.
You're right.
But now I think
That's
he's.
a good point.
That's good. That's
I
good.
mean, Devin Haney was
good.
able to just box him and run the whole night.
well,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
So that
The
was
whole night.
The whole night. Lomachenko kept coming forward, and kept
But
taking
couldn't
his
get
blows.
nothing.
But it really
Wasn't
wasn't
throwing nothing
there.
off.
I think Kambosos is not going to run though.
Yeah.
So he's going to be
He's
in there
not.
swinging.
Right.
So it's your slugfest.
It's a slugfest.
Okay,
And I'm taking Kambosos just off
I'm taking Bosa's too.
just off of
All
Father
right.
Time.
So we got Tank Davis, 29-0 versus Frank Martin, 18-0.
Frank Martin's on the rise though.
I don't know.
He's on the rise. They say he was next up and coming. I'm not sure about the fight, but they did say he was up and coming.
That's a knockout in the 5th round.
But they did say he was up and coming. I do remember he was solid. I remember he fought on somebody's undercard. It might have been Devin Haney's undercard. I seen him fight, and he does look good.
He's
but
18-0.
like you say, that's 19-0 against like amateur 19-0. Like,
right.
This is the Mayweather thing. Mayweather
Right.
finds somebody that's up on the rise.
and that has an undefeated and say, "Oh, beat another undefeated person."
You gonna come
and
get
I'ma
this
put him on
money,
my-
and
I
I'm,
agree.
you know what I mean. You
And
gonna
my,
have
guy, and my
glad
guy's
you
going to
mentioned
beat you
that.
up, so you're going to have
Right.
a blemish on your record.
Right.
exactly.
Like a
Then
Canelo.
you're gonna be the next
Right.
guy
You're
that
gonna
everybody's
say-
gonna go through
Right,
to get
right.
to me.
Right, and he gonna be like, "Oh, he only got one loss, and the only loss he had is
Yeah.
Tank." Like, bro, you're garbage.
Well,
still.
you see, like-
but I think,
like-
but I think he is. I think he's solid. Though. I think he's solid.
You and
I won't
RK
say
said,
ready.
that I don't want to go too far afield. Now Earl Spence is coming in the ring talking about he wants to fight people. That
bro.
look crazy.
So whack.
That look
Like
crazy.
you're desperate, bro.
Like,
That
that
was the
didn't
wrong
look. That
move.
didn't look right.
That's
I'm
desperate.
Like, oh no! Not
Right.
you. You're supposed to be the
The
guy.
man, they come to you with that
Right,
information,
right.
And you in the crowd, and they're like, "I want you next."
Right.
He went in the ring and said, "Look,
I can
I'm
believe that.
next." Like,
Because
I'm,
I mean, the guy that beat him, he don't want no more of that.
yeah, no,
Well,
no,
they-
he don't
they
want no
won't.
more of
They
that.
don't-
He-
I
you
don't
know,
think- I don't think
I
they
told
got-
y'all that. That's never going. You
You're
were thinking
right,
like,
you're
I ain't never
right.
going.
You're
He ain't
right.
getting no more.
I can admit it when I'm wrong.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like I said, Crawford he got to fight again though.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he don't have nobody to fight.
No, there's plenty of people he can fight.
Who could he fight in his weight class?
There's plenty of people he can fight, man.
I agree. Yes, there's plenty of people he could fight, but it's like
Fight Canelo.
what for? Canelo's not.
Canelo don't
Canelo
want
can't
him.
go there. Canelo can't go down to
Canelo
his
don't
weight.
want him.
He can't go down there.
Fight Tank. Fight Ryan.
No,
Fought
those are
Devin.
those are too small.
Then who's in his weight class?
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
He don't have nobody to
The
fight.
Charlos?
The only person he can fight maybe is one of the Charlos.
But the one on the one that got beat, that's the only one he would have to fight.
I think-
the Charlo got lost
Why
to
can't
Canelo.
he fight the other Charlo?
The other Charlo, he mentally, he don't. I wouldn't fight him either. He's weak. Oh my!
See, don't do
I gotta
that.
stop, bro.
He's
Like,
undefeated. He's undefeated.
You're right,
He's
bro.
undefeated.
I hate both of them, bro. They're both weak to me. Like I really do hate both of them. Like they're both. I don't know. They're kind of like I don't know, gatekeepers. Also, they gonna lose to somebody big time, and they gonna be doing the same
But
thing.
one of them is nothing now. That he lost to
Canelo.
He's nothing now.
Yeah.
So you guys
I
got
don't know.
Davis or Martin?
Tiafimo seemed
I
like
got
he should be
Davis.
able to be in the weight class for Bud, but as far as this goes, I got Davis.
Yeah, I got
Easily.
Davis.
That's easy
And
money.
then there's Ryan Garcia 24-1, Devin Haney 31-0.
Yeah, I got Haney.
Easy?
Easy.
I'm not gonna lie to you. This is crazy. Like
got Haney easy.
I got Haney too. I don't want. They both. Oh my! I gotta stop talking about this box. Like
Haney is a
These
boxer,
guys
though.
are. Haney is a boxer.
He's a
but he's
boxer.
flat-footed. And Devin Haney or Garcia, like I was just telling you, he's just Showtime. Like he's just like
He's not focused on
He's
boxing.
not. He's like Hollywood. So we got
He's
Hollywood
focused
versus.
on this fight, though. He's
Oh my
focused
God!
on
That's
this
what we
fight.
said last time about Tank. He was focusing. he
No,
wasn't.
nobody said that.
Come on, bro.
No, I didn't say that.
I think I might even lost dollars betting on this bum and that. I thought it said anybody that he's gonna beat. I thought Garcia was the guy. I'm like, bro, anybody can do it. The man can. He's
No,
garbage, bro.
He's
I
not
don't know.
garbage. He's lost one fight to the best fighter in the world.
The best fighter in his weight class.
The best fighter in the world.
The best fighter in
He's
his
pound
weight
for pound
class.
the best fighter in the world.
Come on, man. We
He's
know.
a showstopper.
You
He
know,
brings
come
everything.
on, man. You know, he's not. He could be number 3, but you already know
he's number one.
who the 1 and 2 is.
He's number one.
And you can make the debate for
No,
those.
he's number one.
Come on, man.
Who's number 1 and 2?
Bud
It ain't
and Canelo.
No, they're not.
All right, bro.
Canelo's
Oh,
not
my
better
gosh.
than David Benavidez.
He don't want to fight him. That can't mean he can't put him above him. So until we fight him, whoever.
Who don't want to fight?
Canelo.
Right.
It has to be his last
So
fight.
don't
When
run.
I told you I would fight him.
I'm saying
I told you
don't
I would fight
run.
him if he don't want to fight no more.
And what's his name is not a better fighter than Tank. We could argue that.
Oh my God.
You could argue that forever. Yes.
No, but
He's not.
Bud has it all.
He doesn't. He doesn't.
I think Bud's a better fighter.
Bud has
than
it
Tank.
all.
He's not, man.
Yeah.
Bud has it
He's
all.
not.
I think his skill set is better than
Yeah.
Tank's.
I don't
He has
think
it
so.
all.
I think
Tank just
Tank
knock
is
out,
dope.
just power,
I don't
just
think so.
strong.
Tank is, and he's a good tactician.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing. He knows how to
Yeah.
get you in them positions
Yeah.
so he can knock you out.
Right.
But Crawford is
like-
better than Tank.
I disagree.
But you got to think, Dave.
Wholeheartedly.
Look, he's
My
able.
opinion.
Right, I hear
He's
you.
able to fight both ways, though. Like he's able to come in there with a plan, and you're like, oh man, what did Mike Tyson say? You got a
Everybody
plan
got a
until you
plan
got
till you get punched.
right.
Right.
But he's like, oh man, he's southpawing me, and in the middle of the fight,
Okay.
not in or in the middle of rounds, like third or fourth in the middle of a round, he can just switch up to you like,
What
all
does,
right, well I'm
okay,
gonna
but
fight.
what does that mean?
This means that if
People
bo-
can't
if,
make Tank
if
switch.
boxing
He just-
if boxing is a chess match, then Crawford is like a master chess player.
But
Agree.
boxing is
A
not a chess
grandmaster.
match.
A grandmaster.
Boxing
A
is not a
grandmaster.
check match. It's
But I'm just
boxing.
saying, right?
No,
Like, we were
because
just
if
we
it
were
was
just
a
using
fifth,
it as
we'd all be drunk.
We were just
No,
using that to
it's
say
not a chess match. It's not
Man,
checkers.
That boy
it's
good.
boxing.
What did he say? That boy good.
It's
Good.
kill or be killed. And from my knowledge, they both got the same record.
But who got
who's
more wins?
Bigger.
Oh, listen, come on.
No, who's bigger?
One's bigger
makes-
paper.
who
One's
makes-
bigger pay per
Okay,
view,
who makes
Yeah.
more money?
and one was under somebody who was dictating
Tank.
his money, and he couldn't do what he wanted to do.
You allow that because you were. You
I'm
were
not
just
saying
fighting-
we allowed it, but we're going face value on who was the better boxer. We didn't say
Right.
who was the more
No, I'm saying
intriguing,
I'm
who was the
saying,
box draw. Like,
he the fights that he fights by the fourth round, everybody knows what's happening next. No matter who, and we've talked.
I agree. I'm
We've
not denying
talked
it.
plenty of times. We
I didn't
said
deny it.
Tank is not gonna, man.
No,
Tank ain't gonna win
Dave,
this.
come on, bro.
No, you got my,
Dave,
you got
come
my
on, bro.
eyebrows.
Come on,
going
look.
crazy. You got my hand coming out. You got my hand coming out.
said, you're right. I have said in fights.
No, you said.
No, listen, I have said in
plenty
fights.
times, man, Tank, man, he ain't like that, man. I ain't really on. You've heard it. I
Right.
ain't really on Tank like that. He ain't got this, that, or the third, and
Tank
he
got
does
it.
it
Tank is
every
cold.
single
He's
time.
cold for sure.
All I said is the man just starts slow. He take rounds off.
Crawford's
and
fought
then,
one person.
One person.
bro.
Oh wow.
He's fought one person with zero spins.
And he was supposed to be the and he was supposed to be the man.
He was.
Right.
He was.
He got the
What
big
man
fish,
have Tank
man.
fought though? Who was no, listen, just hear me.
Here
Just
we
hear me
go.
out.
Here we go.
Just hear me out. At one point in time
How
we
many
thought
championships did he
just
take
hold
away?
on, just hold on. Hear me out real quick. Hear me out. At one point in time we thought Spence was the face of 145. When Mayweather left, we thought Earl was the man. We thought Earl was
he did hold it down for
right.
for a
Agree.
while. He held it
right.
down.
Yeah, he
so
did.
He won. I'm not
Spence was
denying
wrong.
that.
And he was fighting people too.
Yeah.
Right. Before the accident, before the retina, whatever it was that got scratched, he was the man. I agree. So I'm saying this. What caliber of fighter has Tank fought on Spence level? You name them. I'll wait.
No, you want me to go through a list, or you want me to remember
Just
it off the top
pick
of my
me
head?
eight.
Ryan
You wanna know
Garcia
it?
is
Oh
at
my
the top.
God.
He's at the
This
top
guy,
of the food
right?
chain
I
in
am
boxing.
done.
He's one of the people at the top of the food chain in boxing.
Hollywood.
It doesn't matter if he's Hollywood. He's one of the names at the top of the food chain. What's his name? Marcus? What's his name? He took his title.
You don't want to fight Haney.
Who don't?
Tank.
Yeah, come on, man. He ain't running from Devin Haney.
I'm just
No,
saying.
and Ryan Garcia just leaked what happened in the sparring match too.
I don't know if I trust Ryan Garcia.
It's out, RK.
What did he say?
No, he leaked the footage of the sparring match.
The whole
and Tank
sparring
was,
match.
man, AB really got in the ring and had to stop it. Devin Haney was about to die.
Yeah, but Tank, but Tank,
Devin Haney was about to die. He was
Right.
getting beat up.
but Tank is also like 5 years older though
So
too.
now it's
I'm not saying
age.
no. It does not matter. We just said that about Lomachenko.
Let me tell you why you can't do that. Because you said when Floyd Mayweather fought Canelo, he was 17 years old.
Right. I'm
And
still
so you
staying.
said
I'm
it's
still
about-
staying with
no,
it though.
What I'm saying is, it's not about age.
Listen, a 17-year-old Canelo is not
17
a.
either. He was 20.
Okay, well, a 21-year-old.
No, he was like 23.
No, we're
Yes,
not.
he was.
A 21 is most
No,
I'm
he
giving.
wa- he
I
wasn't
thought it was
21.
19, but I said
He
21.
wasn't 21.
He
That's
was only
a lie.
like 3 years removed from Mexico coming over here fighting. Like,
That's a lie.
Oh,
He was
my
in
gosh,
his 20s.
bro.
He was in his 20s.
22.
You
Can we
ain't
agree on
never met
22?
Dr. Martin Luther King.
We'll just say 22.
You're lying. You
We'll
ain't
just
never
say
met Dr.
22. You ain't never met
Martin Luther King.
Nah, but yeah, no, I don't. What was the fights again? I think they both suck.
Who?
Haney and Garcia.
Okay.
I can't pick one.
You gotta pick one.
A draw.
No, it ain't gonna be no draw.
A sequel. They gonna fight again.
No, they won't.
Man, Devin Haney's going to destroy Garcia.
No, he's not.
Go ahead. You didn't you say Garcia?
I've been consistent.
Oh.
I said Garcia.
Okay.
When he wins that fight, people are like, I knew Devin Haney was weak anyway.
Oh no.
I mean, the man is 31-0.
And who has he fought?
Come on, bro.
We
could say that about.
I watched a lot of fights though.
But who has he fought though? That you know there was names.
I
fought
assume
Lomo. Did he fight
was
Lomo
calling out
twice?
Tank. I assume people is ducking him.
Who was it that he fought over in?
I can't assume that.
Who was it that he fought over in Australia and he was just danking their head up?
Oh, that's
big
the
time.
guy. He
Kim
won the belt.
Bosis.
Yeah.
He's nothing.
He was. All right, bro.
Kim Bosis is nothing.
My guy, man.
Kim Bosis is nothing.
All right, okay.
I'm just saying.
Okay. You said you got Lomo too?
Huh?
Who do you have that Lomo Gambosis?
I got Lomo.
All right.
You got Lomo?
I got Lomo.
Okay. All right.
The next topic. We're still unboxing, y'all.
Oh my.
Mike Tyson
Man.
versus Jake Paul. What's gonna happen?
Correct me if I'm wrong. This is what I've been hearing. I can't say that I fact checked this or not, but someone came into the shop and said, in the rules, he could tag his brother in.
Yeah, I heard that.
Huh?
That's not true.
I did. I'm like,
It's not a tag team championship.
I don't know. Look, I'm like, bro, we're doing WWE tag you in, bro. Look, I'm getting beat. I can't do nothing with him.
That's not happening.
Then he said something like, I guess he can't knock him out. I guess they wearing headgear like they like they Olympic fight, like it's Olympic style
Tyson's
boxing.
not wearing headgear, but Jake Paul is.
Which is
And
ridiculous.
they're doing 8-ounce gloves, not
Man.
10.
Oh,
Yeah, he about
that's
to.
why he's wearing headgear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mike Tyson said he's gonna retire Jake Paul.
Man.
He said he's gonna retire him where he doesn't want to box him or go back to being a YouTuber.
Yeah,
Because you've
man.
been disrespecting the sport.
Yeah.
That's Mike Tyson's words.
Oh yeah. I'm here for it, man. I want to see it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I
wanna
want
see
it, but I heard it's on Netflix. I heard it's a Netflix fight.
Yeah, I think so. It's the
Yeah.
first Netflix fight. Yep.
Yeah,
there's
it's a streaming.
The only way the fight can be stopped is somebody gets knocked out. There's no real winner. There's no scorecard. There's none of that.
But so what?
The
How
rounds
many?
are 2-minute rounds.
Yeah, but how many
There's no
rounds is it gonna go? You just keep going
There's
rounds,
no scorecards.
and you just keep going rounds.
8 rounds, eight
Oh.
rounds, something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Mike Tyson is 60-something years
Yeah,
old.
he's 61
He's
years
old enough to be
old.
all of our
But he,
dads.
but he, but he still, but he still
I didn't know he was that
his
old.
hips.
Right.
Yeah, his hips still move. I
Dog,
seen
he
some
was
training
around
on my
when
guy, and he was
he was a grown man when we were
moving
kids.
body bags.
You know what I'm saying? Fighting on HBO for free back in
But
1990.
I
was
think
like
he was only
young,
8.
though.
Right.
Yeah, he was 18, 19 when grandma was like, nah, Mike Tyson, not you. Riddick Bowe, no, not you.
So who you got?
Come on, man. Look, I got the grandpa, bro. Grandpa gonna do
Iron
it.
Mike, man. Come
Without,
on.
without a doubt, huh?
Without a doubt, bro.
And I think I think Darrell or somebody said, yeah, if you guys if he hurt Mike, then he gonna have to see somebody for real, a real boxer.
Oh, Jake, look.
Yeah.
Oh, he said if you hurt Mike,
If you
look,
hurt
look.
Mike, you got to see a
I'ma
real
send-
boxer.
I don't
You know
think he can
what
hurt
I'm
I'm
Mike.
gonna send the heavyweight.
I don't know,
I don't
man.
think he can hurt Mike.
You know, did is
61.
Bernard Hopkins still moving around? Did the Bernard Hopkins fight on any of these?
Nah, man. He's
What if
too
B
old,
Hop?
man.
I know, but what if B Hop get on and fight him
Nah, he's too old too.
to fight what's his name?
Yeah, I don't
Mike
even know-
Tyson?
Yeah, no, not Mike Tyson to
Oh,
fight Jay.
Paul? No, that for what?
Nah.
B Hop is making money promoting like he's
Man.
getting his paper
Yeah, he
now.
got his suit on and everything.
Hey,
He's out here about to fight Tank Davis and Tank talking about don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Man,
Nah, but and then the
Yeah,
other
man.
thing. This is what makes me feel weird about boxing. With these boxers fighting UFC fighters.
Yeah.
Anthony Joshua throws a ghost punch, and Francis, which is one of the toughest men in the world,
it knocked in. I did.
he didn't even hit him,
Yeah.
and he fell down like he was knocked out.
Yeah.
And it showed in slow motion that fight was rigged.
Yeah.
What's you guys' perspective? Because I'm gonna call a spade a spade.
I agree totally. I mean, I seen that. All I could do is go off the video evidence.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the
Right.
video evidence suggests that fight was rigged. That guy threw a punch. Anthony Joshua threw a punch, and Francis fell out of nowhere. He didn't even duck first or nothing.
You're
He just
too
fell.
big to be falling at 6'5", 260, and the air hit you.
Come on, man.
Come on, dog. I can't respect that. And that's why the UFC, I understand that it's a money grab, but the UFC got to stay with the UFC and boxers got to stay with boxers. That's why this Jake Paul thing with him winning is just irritating. Like somebody has to put him in his place because every fight they said pretty much he fought has been some type of setup where it's rigged for him to win. Mike Tyson ain't going for that.
Yeah, Mike Tyson. But if he's got all these weird rules, like he could tag his brother in and wear a headgear.
That ain't true. Everybody got Iron Mike.
I got Iron.
Right. And what does he knock? Does he knock Jake Paul out? Was the question.
I don't think they let him.
Nah, he's not. Jake Paul's a commodity now. They're not gonna let him knock him out.
Yeah,
they're gonna put a hurt on him.
What if Mike gets into one of those things where he's doing that thing
and he catches him?
And the referee is not. What's gonna happen? Like,
I mean, they're not gonna prevent that. I mean, that can happen.
If it happens,
this is Mike Tyson. He's arguably the greatest we've ever seen. Not the best fighter ever, but the greatest we've ever seen as a champion.
And best knockouter. Like,
best knockout artist. Yeah.
Time-wise, his fights be lasting first round.
Right, so what I'm saying is, you guys don't think he knocks him out?
He didn't knock out Roy Jones either, though.
Didn't.
But he took it easy on Roy Jones.
Yeah.
That's his friend. He don't like Jake Paul. You know Mike Tyson, when he doesn't like something,
man,
he starts spazzing out, man.
I can see it.
He starts spazzing out.
Yeah. I mean, I can see it. Like, I can see there's a possibility of that happening. But like I say, I don't. I just think Jake Paul's like for that kind of boxing. What do they even call that now? Like, I don't know. YouTube,
a money grab.
I mean, it is a money grab, but there's like a name for it that they have for the like. It's just a YouTuber boxer or whatever. I don't know, but he's making a name for himself.
It doesn't make sense to me, but I think just Iron Mike is gonna beat him up real quick, and then Jake Paul's like, the opportunity of fighting Mike Tyson was.
That's exactly what he said. Because didn't he say that about Floyd Mayweather? He was like, at least I hit him.
Right, that's his brother.
Yeah. He was like, at least I got to hit him.
It's an exhibition fight,
right?
Man. It's an exhibition fight.
So like that's what it is gonna be like.
I think either way, Jake Paul wins in the fact because he's not supposed to beat Mike Tyson.
I want to see Jake Paul fight Tyson Fury or somebody.
Tyson, nobody wants to fight him. That guy. Now nobody really don't want to fight him.
Ain't no way.
One, he's a cheater.
Ain't no.
And number two, he's not a cheater.
I agree.
He's not a cheater, D.
I agree.
He don't got floppy gloves. Like he got like his wrist is broke. He don't got broke wrist. He don't got. He was hitting like this. He was hitting like this, man.
Oh my God!
You can't change the camera. You can't change the camera. Ain't going there.
We see the footage, man.
Oh my
Moving
God!
forward, man.
We are slapping him and it was hurting.
We are in the NCAA tournament, man.
Gosh.
Did you guys do brackets?
I did. Mine just. I got
your bracket is surviving.
My bracket is very surviving. I had and we was in the Elite 8. I had 5 of the 8. And then I got 2 of the 4.
Who are the 2?
UConn and Purdue. I'm not gonna get ain't nobody. It'd be you lying if you said you got NC State past. I think like the 2nd or 3rd round. I think they were playing like Kansas or Kentucky, and one of them they would have played.
Yeah,
then they would have played Houston, and then they would have played like Houston, Duke. They would have played all of them in that same bracket. Like, there's no way or Marquette was in there, and there's no way. Yeah.
So some people did have them. So you're just saying you don't.
You went to the school if you had them.
You don't want to. Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Right. So
there's something attached to you.
Right.
Or you just not randomly just on your bracket throwing NC State.
They're hooping though, right?
Yeah, they're 11 seed, but they're
looking good.
And I just heard something.
But it happens every year. You got to pick somebody to send. The Cinderella story's odd. It's bound to happen.
Dave, I heard today they were the number 10 seed in their conference.
Yeah,
and then they end up going on a 5-game winning streak in 5 days. Like in their conference, you got to play every day. They had 5 games and 5 nights.
That's the thing, gentlemen. Like, for example, when you are in the tournament of any sport, or you can get in the playoffs in football, and whoever's playing the best at that time can win the championship.
Yeah,
it's very rare that you see the best team that's supposed to win that just wins.
I agree.
So NC State could win it all.
They're playing hot. They're playing really hot.
It's possible.
They could.
Yeah. What you're saying.
There's only 2 number 1 seeds left. Am I correct?
Yeah, Purdue and Purdue and
so the other
UConn.
2, which one of them was
Houston,
and the other one was
North Carolina.
They're gone, and it's because it's just one game.
Yeah,
and you got to be your best for that one game. That's the thing of why college basketball, women and men, are so exciting, because the people can actually fall along with it because it's one game.
Yeah, anybody can win.
The NBA is you got to win
7
4
games,
games, dog. I don't think people really understand how hard that is. How do you game plan for somebody that you got to play four times
different
in a row?
times. 7 times could be.
Right,
But
but
four,
four
you got to
guaranteed.
win 4.
4
Yeah.
guaranteed.
Yeah.
It's 4 games you're guaranteed in the NBA playoffs,
Yeah.
which, and you think about it, all NBA players do is watch film.
Right. So what
They
you
don't really
can't-
practice. They more so watch film and look at the characteristics of the plays, so they know the plays before they're going to happen.
Yeah, it's almost
That's-
like you got to have 7 different ways of coming out. Like
Right.
7 different kind of formations. If you thought about it in football, you got to beat me 7 different ways.
Right.
Because I'm going to know 4 of them at least.
Or like they say, by game 3 or 4, they know what you're gonna do. You just
Yeah.
got to stop them at that point.
And you got to be able to execute.
You got to be
Yeah.
able to execute.
And that's
yeah.
why that's what separates the good players from the great players to the elite players.
Yeah.
That's why there's certain people that's in that category that, like you say, the Michael Jordans, the LeBron Jameses, the Magic Johnsons, the Kareems, the
Kobe's.
Kobe Bryants, there's
Bryant.
the Shaquille O'Neals,
Steph Curry?
Steph Curry,
Just Steph Curry.
he's in
The
that-
chef.
I'm not
Yeah.
going
He's in that
I'm
great
not denying him. He's on that
category.
great.
I was trying to. I'm like,
No, he's on there. Yeah.
No, he's in that great category.
He's on that
You
great.
can't take
I put him
anything-
on there.
You can't take anything away because he's 1-4.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's 1-4. Regardless of how you slice it, he's 1-4.
yeah.
And at the end of the day, how hard it is to get a championship, some people never ever got one.
Yeah, that's real talk.
You know what I'm saying? And I look at it from a standpoint that how do you really, if you had to game plan of playing somebody guaranteed 4 times, how do you out coach or how do you out strategize somebody to know that I'm gonna get, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Unless it's just completely lopsided and you're dealing with teams that got injuries and their real players ain't in there, their best players is hurt.
Right.
But if you're mano-y-mano,
Right.
like for Cleveland to come back from a 3-1, that's unbelievable. If somebody told you that, you would say you're lying.
Of course.
Against a Golden State team that was 73-9.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I bet somebody just randomly throwing a bet. I said I'll bet you $100 that Cleveland will beat Golden State in the start of the season, in the start of the series, and then the guy doubled down when they went up 3-1. Was like, I'll give you $10,000 or no $1,000, not $10,000, $1,000 to your $100 if Golden State or if Cleveland came back, and he ended up paying me $1,000 to my $100 on Cleveland coming back on that series.
So you just took the bet just because
I took the bet because I thought
No, I'm
my
talking
$100 was already on the
Right,
line
right,
from
right,
me
right,
betting
right.
100
He
to
just said,
100.
I bet you
Right.
He said, I bet you 1,000 they
To
didn't want
your
to come
100,
back to
to
my
your
100. So it would only been my $100 I was losing
You
to
had
him
a
out the
$900
gate.
come up just
A
out of-
$900. No, yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
imagine how many people went through that same thing and lost, went out and doubled down like, oh yeah, this is a wrap because I thought it was over. Everybody thought it was
Everybody
over.
thought it was over.
Yeah.
And that's and that's what I'm saying with
He was walking on fast through the tunnel and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He was out of there like, bro, I'm going. Look. We lost. Don't ask me nothing else.
Right. But when you look at it, I'm saying just look at it, guys. Like the tournament's down to
4.
You need 8 today.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
with the 2 days after this, it'll be down to 4 teams out of a tournament that was started with 64.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
Serious.
just that quick. And those games at the beginning of the March, and it just trickles all the way down.
Man, hopes and dreams and just
Right.
dashed and win the
Yeah.
game. and-
Legends are made,
Yeah.
stars are born.
Yeah.
And then some
Because that
people's-
DJ kid from NC State
Yes.
is actually making a name for him. He's
Yes,
like
he
300
is.
pounds. They say he got swift feet like Dave King. Look,
Man, I heard
swift
that.
hands and
I heard
look,
that.
moving,
Light on his
moving
feet.
and
I
grooving.
heard
Nah,
that.
hey,
I
look,
heard
plenty of time. Look, he looked like like
heard that.
that boy was real swifty on the feet, moves and everything.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he got like dreads or braids or something. You didn't have it. Did you have that?
I had braids back
Oh,
in
well,
the
then
day.
Is
you
that the
good.
guy they
Look,
call
you
an
good.
Escalade or something like that? They call-
Nah, he ain't that big,
No,
but he's
this-
like a.
What is he, about 6'9"?
He's a big kid. I don't know how big he is, but he's a big kid.
he
but
does
he
he got some Dave King footwork, which
he got
is
some Swifties,
impressive.
some good puppies.
But that dude from Purdue, that big
Oh
dude
man,
is tough.
Zach
He's tough.
7'3". That's my
He's-
guy.
He's tough.
He had a
man.
40-27, like 7 blocks
Yeah.
in the last game.
Well, what's more exciting, the men or the women? Because I've been watching both.
I've been watching both, and I'm not gonna lie to you. This Final Four is actually solid for the men. Like, I don't know, Clemson looked like they were very athletic. They was getting up and down. I thought for sure Arizona was gonna win that, but they beat Arizona. Then I think last game they just beat. Who did they just beat? They just beat
Alabama.
Alabama,
Because
and
they
I
came,
thought Alabama
was destroying them.
Yes, they was.
And they
Yes.
came back and walked
Yes.
them down.
Yeah,
man.
they did. No, I think it was like 18, 17 or 15. It was something in the teams they were down.
Right. I was
and they
watching
came
it.
back in.
Because I look back up, I'm like,
Yeah.
wait a minute. They're up by 6 going into halftime.
Right, yeah.
They were up down by like 18.
Yeah, I know it's something in the
Alabama was
teams.
getting busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm. But the girls, dog, you got the star power.
Man, you got names.
You got the Caitlin
You got
Clark,
names
you got the
in
Paige, you got Juju.
Man.
Juju is a true freshman, though.
Yeah. I ain't never seen nothing like her.
Never,
I'm trying to.
nothing?
No. I'm trying to really think.
You never saw Candace Parker?
But Candace wasn't like as a freshman.
Candace Parker as a freshman at Tennessee. They
Right.
won the national championship, and she was the one.
We're talking about like
Forget it.
she's literally.
She was a point forward, like at 6'5", running the
But that's what
point.
Juju was doing.
No, but Candace is 6'5".
I think Juju's like 6 something.
She's not 6'5". What I'm saying is handling the ball. You're supposed to be a center.
But
doing
Juju's
that.
had 4 40-point games this year.
Juju is impressive.
I ain't seen nothing like her.
All in point. You have saw something like her.
The
You
closest
saw Diana Todd Rossi. You saw her.
Diana was not like her. Diana had great teams.
Diana Taurasi was the one.
They had great teams,
But she
though.
was the one.
I know she was the one, but they had great
Breanna
teams.
Stewart, she was the one.
They had great teams.
But
that was like the little guard that was on UConn or
when
got drafted.
So when you have great teams, though, D, and you're still the guy,
Juju
say?
is putting in
What does that
40s
say?
as freshmen.
that's greatness.
Yeah.
When you're on a great team and you're the best, you stand at the top of the mountain, even with the rest of your teammates. That's greatness.
But then you put Juju on any team now, other than Caitlin. Yeah, other than Caitlin. I'm gonna say just Caitlin.
And we've saw Caitlin she's a killer.
She's the only one I'm putting over Juju right now
in college basketball.
in college basketball.
You've lost your infernal mind. You've lost your infernal mind.
Yeah,
Take
I'm
it
not.
back.
No, I'm not taking it back.
That's wrong.
Juju is crazy.
That's wrong, man. That's wrong.
She's good, bro.
She's really good.
She could go down as the greatest girls basketball player in history.
Don't do that.
Better than Maya.
Don't do that.
I'm doing it. You heard it on wax.
You forgot Cheryl Miller. You forgot
Well,
Candace Parker.
I can't say I forgot about Cheryl Miller. I didn't even know her. How old am I, bro? Look.
I'm just saying. You
I'm
can't,
like,
you
man,
can't say
I-
the greatest to ever play. That's going too far.
Man, from the girls that I've seen then,
Well, that means you ain't saw that many girls.
I have seen.
No, you haven't. You haven't saw Candace. You didn't see. Breanna
I've seen
Stewart
Candace.
lost 2 games in college basketball her whole career. She won 4 years in a row.
I've seen-
at UConn. She won 4 years in a row
She
the
did?
national championship,
She did.
Oh, she's
and
serious.
she was the one.
She did.
Yeah.
So I'm saying,
She did. I agree.
She
did.
and she was 25 and 13, like nightly. It's just like what I mean. That's
She was good.
It's more than it's,
No,
it's more than just points. Is what I'm
But
saying.
you can only you're putting her up there like you're in the names that you're giving grades.
No, I'm giving you.
So
grace.
since you're giving grades, I'm
She-
like she's
she-
in the is she in the conversation?
She has to do it more than her freshman.
Is she in
year.
the conversation?
Women have to stay in college for 3 years, so I
Yeah.
gotta see how she does the next 2 years.
and if she wins
Then
player
she'll be in
she win
greatness.
and she win player of the year 2 times.
she'll be considered as greatness.
Okay.
Man, it sounds like you guys are really on the side of female players.
Oh, man, yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
big
it's a
on
lot.
that.
I'm
I
big
mean,
on
not
that,
just
too.
not just big on them, but I think you guys are saying that they're better than the men's right now.
No, I'm not gonna say that. I'm saying the star power
Name,
of
star
the
power.
name of them saying
Yeah.
like preseason.
Yeah, because you guys are
Yeah.
dropping
Like, there's
names
like
and knowing
Yeah.
stats on
There's
some
Yeah.
of
there's
these
like
Oh,
a
yeah.
preseason of who should be All American
Yeah.
or first team. These guys have lived up to their hype
Yeah.
going into the season.
Yeah.
Like we didn't know anybody off of NC State.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We didn't know anybody off of NC State. We didn't know.
I didn't know the DJ dude until somebody
Right.
YouTube them Sweet 16.
Right.
all five on one
Rob
squad.
Billingham,
Yeah.
DJ Wagner,
Yeah.
they was all there at Kentucky, but
Yeah.
sometimes you
The
don't
chemistry,
win it.
yeah.
They got
You've
lost
don't
in the
win it.
first round.
Yeah, they lost to Oakland.
Yeah,
They
Oakland.
lost to Oakland.
What?
Yeah. No, for real.
Yes.
Wow.
They lost to
Yeah.
Oakland.
And
so
they were
it's
like
just
a 3 seed, and I think Oakland was like a 16th. No, like a
14 seed or
14
something like
seed.
that.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's why I say you got to love March Madness, man. I think it always lives up to the expectations, but what is better now is that the women's are getting better.
Yeah.
And so you
Yeah.
can go, you're not just subject to watch them. And before it would just be a good player here.
Right.
UConn was going to dominate.
You knew, right? UConn had a squad. Like, they were 34-0.
Right.
I mean, South Carolina kind of they're solid, but like you say, you don't know which one of them girls is gonna beat South Carolina and have a chance.
And South Carolina got a big girl arcade that is tough.
Yeah,
she's from a different country.
Yeah, I think like Australia or Brazil somewhere.
Came to watch her play just one time. And that's when she pushed the girl for LSU, and that was that whole big debacle. So it just
she's like from Brazil or something like that.
Big,
well, she's big.
She's like 6'7".
Yeah,
she's
no, for real.
She was making Angel Reese look like, and Angel Reese is big.
Yeah, she's tall.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like when they get to that next level, it gets even harder because those guys are lifting weights. The women play overseas. Then they come back to the WNBA, and it's just it's a whole different ballgame. But it's good. I think the game is Kobe was the ambassador that was setting that up.
It was he'd be smiling right now if he was.
I think he would obviously be the commissioner of the WNBA.
I can see that.
And I think that he would have even rose the game because he wanted to get them paid more.
I believe that. I believe. No, I definitely believe that. I really believe that. I believe girls would want to come out. You know, instead of them wanting to do 3 years because they know they're going to get this college NIL money. I think if Kobe was the ambassador, or Kobe, I don't want to say ambassador, if Kobe was the commissioner of the girls will want to come out because they know what direction it's headed.
It'll be such a crazy market that he would try to make it to compete with the NBA. Obviously, we know there's a difference. There's a difference in the level.
It's a different game, but I think it's came a long way.
Right. I think these women need to be commended, though. There's a lot of great athletes. Like Aja Wilson, she's the best.
Yeah,
she's the best.
She is.
She's the best in the world right now.
Vegas Aces.
Yeah, she's the best.
WNBA's MVP.
Yeah, she's the best. And she went to Notre Dame.
No, she went to South Carolina.
She went to South Carolina.
Yeah.
Skylar Diggins went to Notre Dame, but she
and
she dominates.
Kelsey Gray.
She dominates. She dominates, man.
Those Vegas Aces.
Yeah, they're
tough. They won 2 years in a row.
They're tough.
Oh, they're big time.
They're tough.
Yeah, they are.
But yeah, March Madness at its finest, man. It ain't gonna stop, man. We didn't get a chance to really touch bases on a lot of these NFL trades that happened at the trade deadline.
Man,
a lot of new faces and a lot of new places.
A lot of RBs.
Saquon Barkley went where?
Philadelphia.
He's with Jalen Hurts now.
Right.
Oh, that's unfair.
They got him.
But
that is crazy.
But Derrick Henry went to Baltimore.
Yeah, he went to Baltimore
with Lamar Jackson.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
Yeah. That's a big, heavy running back, too.
Who else? There was some big names.
That's a heck of a duo right there.
There was a lot of running backs that moved around.
Yeah, there is a lot of running backs.
Who's the running back in Pittsburgh now? Did they get somebody new?
No, I think they still got the two rookies. They got Harris and
So who was it? Who was it? There was.
I know Joe Mixon went to.
Joe Mixon got traded.
He got traded.
He went to Houston. He's with the rookie.
He's with Stroud.
He's with C.J. Stroud.
That's good for them.
Yeah,
because they got their wide receiver core is
very
real.
Solid. They are.
Houston's gonna be good, bro.
Yeah. Houston's
gonna be good. The Raiders got somebody because what's his name?
The Raiders got Josh Jacobs.
No, he left. He ain't
no, not Josh Jacobs. The one from Green Bay.
Yeah, he got
Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones.
And then Aaron Jones Josh Jacobs went to Green Bay.
I don't know if he went to Green Bay. Did he?
Josh Jacobs went to.
I can't remember. I'll have a better list, but
not Dallas.
No, but Tony Pollard got traded.
Tony Pollard gone too.
From Dallas.
I think he went to Tennessee.
Yeah,
he went to Tennessee to replace.
They talking about Ezekiel Elliott going back to Dallas is what they was talking about.
Because they don't got no running back.
Right, they were.
Yeah.
Which they should have never got rid of him because Tony Pollard wasn't an every down back anyway. Yeah. He's like a scat back. You know what I'm saying? I'm just interested to see what the wide receivers are going to do. It seemed like nobody really moved except for Hollywood Brown went to Kansas City.
We put the franchise tag on what's his name?
T. Higgins. Yeah.
I thought he got traded.
Nah, they put a franchise tag on him and no one picked him up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They try to keep him and they want what's his name? Yeah. I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting. Like I said, you gotta beat Patrick Mahomes though.
Yeah.
Still gotta beat Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
you just gave him another weapon.
Yeah. Hollywood Brown, he was with Baltimore. And then he's the receiver that was at Atlanta. Little speedy.
And he could catch too.
Just like the guy he lost that went to the
Tyreek Hill. Not like him, but
similar.
similarities. Because Tyreek Hill, I forgot. Did Miami get anybody?
Miami dropped 3 of their defensive players. They didn't sign nobody or they didn't pick up nobody, but they let a few people go.
That's crazy too. But like I said, the NFL's in good hands.
But Jets is actually picking up a lot of people too.
They got rid of Dalvin Cook too, didn't they?
They got rid of Dalvin Cook, but then they brought in another running back, like a solid. Oh, they got Breece Hall.
Right.
They got the rookie.
Who did Minnesota get?
Minnesota got Austin Eckler.
Austin Eckler from LA Chargers.
From the Chargers, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because what's his name wasn't it?
Chicago got somebody too that's a good running back also.
They just lost their quarterback though.
Yeah, but they got a running back to go along with somebody too.
What's his name went somewhere else though? Swift went somewhere else.
I think he's in Chicago.
Is he?
DeAndre Swift is in Chicago.
Yeah,
DeAndre Swift is in Chicago.
It was a
exactly
lot of moving parts that happened though with the NFL, and I think that it's with Derrick Henry with Baltimore's tough.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's a crazy
tough.
combo.
But the toughest, I think, honestly, is
Saquon.
Is Saquon in Philadelphia.
Man,
that's
they
crazy.
said no tush push no more. They just gonna give it to this big guy in the backfield.
Yeah, no tush
Like,
push.
man. Because they said they retired the center, Kelsey.
Right.
And he was a big part of that. They said the way he
Kelsey
stealth,
retired?
he retired. Yeah, the center for Philly.
Yeah.
The way he hiked the ball, it was like he sat down kind of a little bit so he can kind of attack the defender's leg, and he was still able to kind of poke the ball and get it through at the same time. That's what was making the tush push so effective. But they say he retired, and now they just say, "Look, we're gonna give it to Saquon now."
Is Saquon every down back? You think?
Yeah,
he still got gas
he's
to
a
take.
4-down back, man. If you need him.
He's a 4-down back.
From Buffalo, right?
No,
from New York.
New York. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Who did Buffalo? Because what's his name went somewhere?
Singletary went to.
He's in Houston.
Singletary went somewhere else. He's somewhere else too. I can't remember. But Singletary's gone. Singletary signed with somebody else.
And then Moss signed with somebody too.
Well, Zach Moss was in Indiana.
But he left, and he's not in
He
Indiana
left
anymore.
Indiana, and he's in.
I don't know where he went.
San Fran.
But he ain't there no more.
He's not there. He got paid.
Yeah,
he got paid.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like it's always the juggle.
There was
with
a lot
sports,
of running
man.
backs that went.
We about to go into our current events.
Hold on.
Okay, you want to stay there?
Before we go, you know what I'm saying? I want to know what you guys' take on that whole Russell Wilson going from Denver
I don't care.
Oh yeah.
That's nothing.
to Pittsburgh. Nah, what about the, you know what I'm saying?
I believe there's something there. I think he has potential.
There's
I
nothing.
think
Is he starting though? Because they got
Yeah,
he gonna have
he's
quarterback.
he's starting.
They just got Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Or not, Justin Fields. Yeah, they traded him from Chicago to there. I thought him going to Pittsburgh was gonna be like, okay, he's back. Like, I think he can get his mojo back. I thought he went there because, when you think of Pittsburgh, you think of like tough nose, hard nose, blue collar, like get it out the mud. But the personality that Russell Wilson have is like, I don't want to be touched. I'm too pretty. Look, I need to be in the front of the camera.
I think that's a bad move with the whole the way the coach does his thing.
Oh yeah, Tomlin
doesn't match to me with how Russell Wilson, because Roethlisberger was tough.
Yeah.
And that's what we knew for
Yeah.
years.
Blue collar,
That's what I'm saying.
tough.
Right.
He was grimy.
That's what we think of
Russell
Pittsburgh.
Wilson's like a celebrity quarterback.
Like a
Right.
celebrity,
That's what I said.
like, yeah.
I don't think that was the best move for him.
Yeah.
He should have went to a program
like a
this-
New England
this-
or
because with them having a new coach or somewhere, because he wouldn't mix good with
Belichick.
Belichick either. But he got to
Yeah.
go somewhere where there's a coach that's about finesse.
yeah.
Because he's like, he should have went to the Commanders.
Yeah,
or something like that.
or a culture like dancing in your videos. Like you like somebody dancing in your videos? Look,
Yeah,
come over here and join Buffalo Bills. Look,
I can't really rock with Russell, man. He should have never left. He had the best system set up for him to be the most successful as possible.
Seattle.
And he got too big headed.
Yeah.
And now his downfall has started. And as these quarterbacks get younger,
I kind of thought he was going to be a backup. I thought he was going to go there and be a backup, but Pickett left.
Justin Fields is good,
I
though,
think they
man.
traded Pickett to Philly.
Yeah, Pickett got up out of there. He didn't want to be there.
Justin Fields is good, too.
Justin Fields is
Justin
good.
Fields is good. He's a decent quarterback.
These young quarterbacks had Love, Stroud,
Stroud's coming on strong.
Even
the boy for Carolina.
What happened to Kyler Murray?
He had got hurt.
Oh, okay.
Yep, he got hurt.
He had tore his ACL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he came at the last 3 games, last 6 games of the season. He ended up playing for Arizona.
Yeah, but he's still Kyler Murray though.
Yeah.
Number one.
Even the quarterback that Seattle picked up from Washington was playing good. Howell, or is it Howell? Yeah, Sam Howell.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He was playing pretty good for Washington. He was starting quarterback for Washington.
Right. These young quarterbacks are good. They
Yeah.
understand the game.
Yeah.
But Russell Wilson, if you
Brock
ask me my
Purdy?
opinion, he's done.
Man, the town don't love him no more. I
Nah,
thought the town loved this guy.
He
I thought he was.
He did the town dirty.
We was there. We went to the. Did you come with us? We was at the.
He didn't come. It was Jones.
It was Jones. Yeah, when we went to the
Seahawks game.
the Seahawks and Denver game. When he came up here, it was his first game back, and the crowd was booing him.
They were
like,
booing him back.
Wow.
And the
big
Seahawks
time.
won,
We're
too.
like, the Seahawks did
He
win.
was throwing interceptions.
Yeah, they was booing him. It was the first game of the season. They were booing, big time booing
That
him.
was nuts in that arena.
It was bananas. That was a good.
Yeah.
Hey, that 12 crowd knows how to show up though.
Yeah, they definitely.
I will say that
stadium be rocking.
it be rocking. It be rocking. Hey, and on a loss, it be quiet. It be quiet.
Yeah, you're right. But like I said, we gonna see what this new coach can bring. It's a whole new regime now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a
we'll
rebuild era.
definitely see what happens.
Still keeping Gino, huh?
Yeah.
I don't. Man.
I would see Sam Howell
Oh,
play.
Gino Pizza, man. That's all. Man,
They got Gino's Pizza out here.
No, I'm just saying that ain't it. The Gino had he's a backup quarterback.
Yeah, Gino's turning into the Gino we know.
You keep going back there.
But he ain't gonna just keep throwing shots because the
Hey, look, we'll see this year. We shall see.
The Colts are doing nothing.
We will see. They'll have a better record than the Seahawks this year.
The Colts, we already bet that.
They'll have a better record than the Seahawks.
You want to bet that better right
we
now?
Bet that. We can make that right now.
Let's bet it
Look,
right now.
Bet it right now.
Let's bet it
Same
right now.
thing.
You guys, you
y'all
guys
seen
saw
it.
You
Y'all
guys
seen
saw
it. Better record.
We've been doing that.
We have. Look, and I've been on the losing end of a few of them. I'm gonna be honest.
But
Look,
he's consistent
I'm gonna
with
be
his
honest.
team.
I don't mind it.
Moving forward, current events. We're gonna just put it out there. Diddy,
Man.
what's up, dog?
I'm not gonna lie to you. As much as I've been really, really, really thinking about this whole Diddy situation, I think it's taking our eyes off of another situation.
The president campaign.
Everything. I think there's something else happening. And as much as I think Diddy might have been
You think
wrong,
they're
or
sacrificing him because something else?
something else is happening. We really don't hear too much about that boat situation anymore. That was only like 2 days, and that Baltimore situation blew over because we stuck on Diddy. I just looked at online yesterday. Another boat hit another dock. Like I can't remember where it was, but it hit a dock that had a whole bunch of tanker ships. That it hit.
That was in Arkansas or Oklahoma.
Yeah, I'm like,
we're gonna touch base on that, but keep going.
but I'm thinking Diddy is a distraction for the underlying agenda for something else.
The
And I'm
cover
like,
up, huh?
Right. We already knew Diddy was doing things, just like we might have known the Bill Cosby, the R. Kelly. We knew they might have been doing these things, but then when you put it in front of our faces, we're like, as African Americans, it's sad to say, we're like, and two into it, like, oh man, that's breaking news to us. Like, bruh, come on, man, you act like he wasn't telling you this is who he was so long ago.
Right.
But we think all of a sudden it's just shocking and breaking news, while other stuff is going on, other bills is being passed, policies, they're putting people in position, and man, if we don't wake up as a whole, we all gonna get pulled over our heads, and 45 gonna get back in. You know who that is.
Interesting. What's your take? Interesting.
I think that's an interesting take. Yeah, it's crazy because what Malcolm X said. He said the media have you loving your enemies and hating your heroes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful because they'll flip the narrative. And one thing that we talked about in our house. I don't know. I know the allegations are crazy, and I'm not trying to discredit any of the allegations. But one thing I did notice is that he didn't start having these problems until he started going at that liquor company that he started suing.
Ciroc or whatever it was.
Yeah, he started suing them because of racial discrimination. He chose to take that mantle up, and ever since then he's been going through problems. And I think even I think her name is Madam President on Instagram. She kind of mentioned that before. She mentioned that, but it was a conversation we was already having in our house. We kind of thought that might be the wave. We thought that might be what's going on. But you're right. Yeah. There's a lot of things going on in this world. I mean, they talked about the boats that have been hitting these
docks or ships
and bridges and stuff.
Bridges,
and they said that I even heard, I don't know if it's true, but I heard that could have been a cyber attack on that boat that made it shut all the power off some kind of way and coast into the bridge like that.
Right.
And that's crippling to that bridge coming down is crippling to that eastern seaboard economy.
Exactly.
That's
exactly.
a major deal
right
right there.
Think about
Right.
it too, though. Just I was tripping off the fact of they knew it from so far off and still couldn't do nothing to control it, even though they got the people off where the people that died were the 7 people that were working on the bridge. It wasn't no rant like people going across like that. But what I'm saying is they still didn't have no control. And how did it hit it at that magnitude where it made it fall?
Yeah.
I almost feel like it was, I don't want to say it, but almost like
It was
something
already
may have been
worked
done.
on.
No, but yeah, I understand what you're saying there. And I know that they were investing into that, like the city of Baltimore was investing into the bridge. That's why the crew was on there.
Uh-huh.
But at the same time, I was thinking about it, man. It's like I'm gonna get real big, maybe tinfoil hatish with this. But the problem is that we got infrastructure problems. Ain't no money being invested into America. And then I extrapolate that. I take the step back and say, you look at what these corporations do, these global corporations, they take all the money out the tax. They don't pay no money into the tax
No,
base.
they don't.
They don't pay money into the infrastructure.
they
like
don't.
they say, we pay taxes.
Middle class will take care of
Yeah,
it.
we
They say
pay
like
taxes
85%
to take-
of the taxes is
Yeah.
middle class.
Right, but so my point is, though, Arcade, what I'm saying is, was the bridge that messed up, or was that a setup for that to happen for it to implode that way?
I don't know.
Because it didn't look like it hit it hard enough to the magnitude to make it
We got
collapse.
to think how
but
big
if you
that
gotta-
ship was.
Right.
Yeah, that
no,
ship.
I
Yeah.
understand
that was a
that
big
part. I'm
tanker.
just looking at it. Just this is my eye test.
Yeah,
just
yeah,
looking
yeah.
at like
Yeah.
it didn't come like it was, like the Twin Towers with the plane coming exploding to the where it imploded. It was more so like it was coming and it's just like it almost looked like it bumped it when they put it in slow motion.
Like
And
a
it
Lego?
and it just like
Crumbled like aluminum can,
like
yeah.
it
Crumble,
bounced.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was looking at
Yeah.
all different angles.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
how does that happen? Like,
Yeah.
was that a setup for them to reconstruct and to make somebody do it? It could be a lot of different things, but like you said, because they have everybody has interior motives.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe
And then-
somebody that had that car go, hey, if we do this, maybe now they will repair because you said they don't put nothing in the infrastructure. They're not trying to fix nothing.
Or they trying to cripple.
Right.
cripple
They
something.
have no
Yeah,
choice but
right.
to fix it now.
And like you said, that's
you know what I'm
that's
saying? That's the part of what I was saying is they have no choice but to fix it.
A lot of those freeway intersections be like one main, like I-5 is our West Coast I-5 from here to Alaska, or I think that's where, I don't know where it goes, but I know it goes pretty far up or up into Canada, and then it goes all the way down to Mexico, down to California, dude. Like I-5 goes a long ways. That's the same thing. I think they're like 95 or whatever it is. That's a part of where we'll go through when it's going to different sections and different. So think if they had a cargo or something like groceries or whatever goods, they're not getting through that now. They got to take a long way detour around to even get to wherever they're getting to.
That means New York is going to suffer from
Right,
it. That
right.
means everybody going to suffer.
I heard, and I didn't fact check it, but then this is another thing that they said the day after. They had said, "Oh, we found three Asians coming in, trying to come from Canada or coming from Mexico. There were cybersecurities. There were hackers from Asia.
Yes,
They were
I think I
coming
seen
in.
that
They
post,
were
yeah.
trying to come in from Mexico that very next day, like trying to hack another shit. But I'm like, bro, like."
So
Yeah.
what you said might be right.
I mean, it's all speculation, but
No,
Right.
we will never really know the truth
No.
unless we were a part
No.
of it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
But I think that's a good point though. That the border. I mean, you see the number of people and the type of people that are coming. I can't imagine this country that after 9/11 and how hyper aware we was of everything.
How lax you is letting just anybody
you
come in
just let
and
them-
giving them money when they come in too.
Man, but
still they want to trip with us at the airport.
Yep. And they don't want to. And the people that are here, they don't want to help. They're not providing the same assistance, the same level of assistance.
Right.
I know people that are basically at minimum wage and can't get any help. How are you minimum wage, barely getting by, and you go to apply and you still make too much money?
Yeah, right.
That means man, everything is so it's hard to get excited about voting and everything when you see things are so
You're
messed
right.
up.
So right.
You know
That's
what I mean?
that's so good. Yeah.
No, keep
Yeah,
going.
that's so good.
No, I mean that's just the bottom line. It's like you see, I mean, how can you get it? How can you get pumped up and get behind somebody when you see how bad everything is went?
And then once you put them in office, they switch up on you anyway when they get
I
there.
mean,
Well, they don't have. They have. I'm a believer of whoever's in that.
They
It's just the
switch it up,
face.
bro.
it's just a phase.
Right.
It's just the face. It's
Because
whatever.
it's
whatever.
corporate interest.
Whatever.
It's
corporate.
it's corporate
America
interest.
is a whole big corporation.
Yeah,
For sure.
A big corporation, and we're running it.
That's
When we
all
get them
about the
social,
dollar.
when we get those social security numbers, you're under a corporation. You are. That's your pretty much. Nah, I'm not going. It is what it is. Like I just don't want to go and then somebody looking there like, oh man, we're about to.
Why can't we be
But
real?
I'm just like, bro,
Only-
I believe
only
it.
no,
Like,
when
man,
we're speaking-
Well,
yeah.
I think the coldest part about it. I heard on another podcast somebody say it was a kid that questioned somebody and he said, "Why should I vote?" He said, "Why should I vote when the politician is going to take my vote and he's not going to answer? He's not going to do what I want to do anyway. He's going to go to where the money came in, who funded his campaign, and do what they want to do."
It's a fact.
So it's like, what value is it for me to vote if that's the case? And I'm not trying to dissuade nobody from voting, but I'm like, it's time we start really taking things into account and making these things really be a part of the conversation.
Yeah.
But that's the problem, is that we don't have a real voice. We have a voice like we're just yelling in the wind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I believe that.
That's
good.
I agree with everything that you're saying pertaining to that, but I think if you don't vote, they're choosing for you. So I mean, you don't. I think that's the flip side of it. You know what I'm saying? I think we do vote because it's a freedom of choice, and that's what a lot of our ancestors fought for. Because if we didn't have the right to, how bad would people be acting right now present?
Yeah.
If we didn't have the right. Like I said,
That's
so
true.
I always look at it from that perspective since I was 18, that Martin Luther King died for us to have the right to do it. You know what I'm saying? And so, right, wrong, or indifferent, enough people voted that last time to where Trump didn't become president. You know what I'm saying? And so I guess if you look at it, and this is the day and age that we lived in, because everybody was like, nah, there's no way he can get, you know what I'm saying? So even though, with that situation, if people didn't vote, Biden wouldn't be the president.
Yeah, I hear where you come.
No,
I
so
see.
I'm just speaking from a different perspective.
I see from both perspectives.
He's right. Like, is my one little vote really going to make a difference? And I guess the answer is we really don't know, because we don't know where the ins and outs, because we're not in the political world. But just being able to have the right to do it, like you can say yes or no.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
No, I'm not doing this, or yes, I'm doing that. What if you didn't have the right to be able to say yes?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it was once that way.
And I do believe he understands that.
No, I'm not saying that he didn't.
No, right. That's what I'm saying.
I was just bringing it to a
saying,
different perspective.
I definitely believe that, and I see both sides, and I've gone back and forth in the shop. Like, man, I'm close to that point to like I'm almost torn away with not voting myself, even though we have privilege to. And I understand that people have sacrificed for us to have that privilege.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, man, do I want Trump in? Do I want Biden in? I think both of them two are both going to be on the ballot again. It's like, if I don't vote, I voted for who won. And I would be fine with saying I voted for who won.
Yeah, but I just look at it from a different perspective of course, as an adult, you could do what you want.
Yeah.
But if you didn't have the right, we would be complaining about not having it.
Yeah.
Because we could do that with anything. Like, if you'd be able to cut hair in a shop where only certain people can come, that'd be like, what do you mean? Like, I don't have a choice? Like, when they take your choice away, we once didn't have them, as African Americans, you gotta use your resources, and we deal with the kind of the results of what happens.
So what happens if what you're saying happens?
Both of your choices, you don't want the choices, so they're taking your choice away.
What if it's a tricky thing, man. It's like, really, I mean, because we have two choices. We have Biden, we have Trump, but do we have a real choice that serves our needs, that's listening to us?
Right.
Do we have a real choice that's really hearing us and doing things on our account? You know what I mean?
I think that's when you got to talk to your mayor, or vote
They
locally with your mayor,
mayors,
I say city
in the
stuff,
city and state that you live in. I think that's important that people get involved. Or any of us could be a city councilman.
Yeah,
You know
right.
what I'm saying? If we, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To kind of, and the only reason why I've learned this because I've learned now to stop complaining about different things. Not to say that nobody's complaining.
Yeah,
but
right.
To try to
right.
be like, and it really woke me up when you talked about the college stuff. Because I've really been on that. Like, the reason why it's that way, and it's messed up, people need to wake up, and the fact of they're not putting no money in this, and nobody's really saying anything about it because they just don't care. So I've learned that if I'm gonna care, I'm gonna make my presence felt, even if it's on a smaller level, so it can go.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Wait, what do you mean?
So
What do you
I'm
mean?
saying, like, to have a voice to get involved, to do it, to be involved in doing something, like with having a right to be able. What if they said we couldn't do podcasts and we really wanted to do it? Wouldn't we fight or try to get a petition of why we couldn't do it?
Are you gonna fight for TikTok?
Who, me? I'm not a TikTok guy. I don't have TikTok.
No, but really, they're talking about TikTok going away too.
That's a good question. I would fight
seriously.
for it for my wife.
And they said it's like 80% of the politicians are all on board on.
I would fight for it for
TikTok.
my
They
wife
really
because
are.
she likes it. I don't have a TikTok.
Yeah.
So
But then they say it's a national security issue too.
Yeah.
I heard that too.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
Again,
But that's something and that's crazy that you make mention of it
So
because
it's a
you
cell phone.
you probably read you read on that, but a lot of people wouldn't know about none of that stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
They would still be
Right.
they will still be focused on that's the Diddy situation that's going on, not knowing that
Right.
whatever your resources or whatever it is that you're following could be banned or could be
Yep.
taken down.
And just kind of speaking on it, RK, just from the perspective of with TikTok, like I've seen it's probably the most used application that I see in young people, with obviously being a coach.
yeah,
And
for young people, for
right,
sure.
for young people. And so again, if they do take it away again, I don't think it's be the first thing, but I mean, what is the real reasoning? Because they said it's a what now?
It's a national security risk, basically, because all the data, they believe all the data is being exfiltrated to China, so they know they know they can influence the people. They
Yeah.
can, they can
Put
have too
whatever
much
they
control over society.
Pretty much they like you say can have control of whatever it
You
is.
believe that?
Oh,
Yeah.
I believe it.
Okay.
Yeah, because we
Yeah,
got
I'm talking
algorithm.
about,
we
I'm
got
talking to have
proof.
the control. though.
Yeah, because we got proof of that because with the Trump election, that was done through Facebook manipulation. So they were able to socialize the people to think a certain way and
Yeah.
put out ideas that put out all
Yeah.
that fake news. That's where the
Whatever
word fake news
ad
came
or
from.
whatever it is, I'll put it
Hypnotism
on
is
your
real.
It's influencing. Like they got influencers. It's
Right.
influencing people's decisions and actions. So TikTok is. You got all these young people that are that can start seeing all this propaganda that's generated from a foreign country. That's a lot of control to have over a population. They don't want to give up that control to another country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't want they don't really, I mean, even at the point it is now, they got the TikTok algorithm set up
That's exactly
so
what it
that
is.
kids in China aren't
Yeah.
seeing the same things that
They're
we're
not.
seeing. They're seeing things that reward a different type of behavior.
Right.
Where we're seeing things
Right.
that makes
All
us,
negativity and
all the negativity and,
Right.
and violence and things like
Right.
that, and dances and stuff like
Right.
that. It's rewarding all that type of activity
Right.
and seeing the numbers go up. So it's really influencing the people, and that's why they're trying to get the control. They don't want to get
That's
rid
right.
of TikTok, but they want to have the company that's based in the United States
They want to control it.
divorce it from the Chinese company.
Yeah.
Got you.
And
Even though Chinese was the root
yeah,
for
So
the
this,
TikTok.
this America, Jack. That's what
Yeah.
they're saying.
but they're not.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. This is really
Yeah.
because this is a business, right? And you got one thing you got to know about business is that it could be a business that's based in the United States, but it's a Chinese-owned business. Just like they say, they got a lot of farmland in America that's owned by China or a Chinese-owned business. There's a lot of meat suppliers that are owned by Chinese-owned businesses, and I'm saying Chinese as in China from the country of China. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes.
They actually, and if you know China controls everything.
Yeah.
So the
It's the
companies
biggest
are
country in the
controlled.
world.
That's
Yeah.
crazy that you make mention of that about the meat because really think about this. This is something that popped up. Have you ever seen a teriyaki commercial?
No.
Where do they get their meat from? You see them at Walmart or Trader Joe's buying up all the meat early in the morning to go sell their stuff? No, they don't.
No.
Because they control, like you said, the meat. One of these places in Tacoma, shout out to barbecue chicken. That's what it's called, barbecue chicken, and it's an Asian place chicken. But I bit into it, and I'm like, bro, this is like one of the best chickens I had in the this is high end. You know how we go to the Metropolitan and be like, man, that's a high end steak. Like I
Right.
know I'm getting good meat.
Right.
When I ate the chicken, I'm
Quality
like, bro,
chicken.
it's quality chicken, and I'm like, well, what are you getting at?
Chicken from.
Where are you getting that KFC? Right. What is KFC feeding you? What is Popeyes feeding you? What is Church's chicken feeding you? Ain't nothing like this chicken that we get from here. I mean, I'm biting into it. It's white. Like when y'all come down there, try and check them out. Smacking chicken, but once again, it's Asian and Korean owned. So I'm thinking like they have their own ports.
They got to connect
of their own connect for their meat.
Their own farms and everything.
Their own farms. Like it's not the same meat.
Banding together, right?
Yeah.
In order for the common good to monopolize.
And that's why. I'm not going to.
I believe it.
It's banded for a common good, and when people don't realize that the root of that banding together, they benefit themselves as a isolated people. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what we've been talking about that multiple times. The problem is with the black people, they don't want to band together.
All individuals,
right? In order to do it, and that's something that has to change.
Yeah.
If it don't, we're gonna destroy ourselves like we have been doing, and that's just the bottom line.
Yeah.
And that's the bottom line. That's why when you have like-minded people versus being a hater or being jealous, learn how that you can grow from where their success is, because it may be a shortcoming of yours. Like the pride is just at an all-time high. It's like ridiculous being so prideful in the fact that you see somebody that may be great in real estate that does this, that does that. You may have somebody's spouse that did. Why wouldn't you go to those people? They've lived it already.
Right.
Yeah.
They can tell you probably an easier way to get it than how they had to go through a struggle to getting it.
Yeah.
That's what it's really about.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. But see, that's just it, man. It's like capitalism is funded off of individualism. You know what I'm saying? And it preys on the individuals.
Yeah.
There was a big labor movement back in the 20s and 30s where they didn't want nobody to unionize or nothing like that, because they rather have the individual. Because if I have you isolated, I can manipulate and take advantage. You know what I'm saying? And so when you got groups of people together, you know what I'm saying, banding together for a common good. Yeah. I mean, it's the same with sports. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got to buy in, and you got to know what your strengths are. You got to know what your weaknesses are.
Right.
And you got to play the game knowing what you're deficient in and knowing what you excel at.
Right.
And like you said, execute at that point.
Yeah.
Right.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing with sports as with people with business.
Yeah.
If we're not at this point, if we're not putting a conscious effort into working together,
that's good,
to build,
good,
to move in a certain direction, then it's not going to happen. That's, you know what I'm saying? We got to put a conscious effort into banding together to do things for the common good.
That's
and
good.
If we don't do that, we're never going to own. We're going to have all these hit records for over 100 years and not own one major distributor.
Not own one.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We're going to have all these salons all over the country, but not own any major buildings, or beauty supplies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Chains.
Facility.
We're still buying beauty supplies from other people.
Yeah.
Which is sometimes outside of the country that they ship it into you from those places.
Exactly.
Yeah. And they own the place.
Right.
And they own the place. And we can't even get a good price on it. We got to buy it by ourselves when when we're the people that are consuming it. Does that make sense?
No, it doesn't make sense at all that it's not that way. But let me ask you both the question on a level that we're on. Mm-hmm. Are we doing everything we can as individuals to help one another?
Yeah,
I try,
and so I'm on the exactly. I'm not batting 1,000.
Yeah,
but I say I consciously it's on my mind 1,000 that I'll at least try.
Yeah,
and then I'll at least try to make an effort. If someone was to come up to me and ask me for any resources, any information, anything, I tell you, anybody that comes sit in my chair, any information I have, you have access to. Now, if you use it and come ask me about it, then I'm obligated to hold up my end of that bargain or my end of that agreement and say and give you my information. I tell them I'm an open book. If you want it, you got it. Yeah. But you at least the difference is I believe that's installed in the other cultures as it's been birthed in them as kids.
Yeah.
That any information that you're that
programmed.
I want programmed, but then it's like it's the culture that they're in.
Yeah.
I think we don't get programmed or we don't get awakened to that until it's an incident where I'm like, oh man, I'm out here alone, and then something happens where somebody that's got it or whatever it is comes along, gets you some game, and you're like, oh man, I wish I could have had that. I wish I could have had that at 7 or 5. Where would I be? And I think now there's pockets of people like ourselves who have been exposed to those and been like, oh. So now we're doing that example of passing that down to our children, but there's not I won't say a multitude of us who are, but like you had said earlier, at least let me be a part of a start. Now, if I'm a part of a start, I don't know 100 years or 1,000 years where it's going to go, but at least I can say I was a part of making something happen. And how you said, I'm making a conscious effort to at least try to do,
and so
my part.
And in my situation, if I have a project or something like that, something I'm gonna I know that I'm gonna spend, or even clothing and everything too. When I see people that I know or whatever, what I'm saying, they selling something, I try to get into it. But if I really have something that like a big project where I know, like if it's a construction project or something like that, I do consciously try to find somebody, that I can, so our dollar, my dollar can bounce around our community.
Circulate.
More than it just bounce out. Yeah. Now, the problem is that a lot of times it's harder to find them individuals, especially individuals that's going to do that quality work and do a quality job and be fair with the pricing and everything. But that's neither here nor there. I try to find that first. Yeah. And if I can't find that, and if I can't find it in a way that I can afford it, then I have to go with what I go with.
That's good. Right. That's good. I think that with this platform that we use is that we have to put ourselves in the position to make sure that we are the things that we're speaking of, that we're providing the example. Yeah. Because otherwise it'd just be talk. And like I said, I know you guys know me. Anything that I have or do, I try to include my people, like whatever I have. Yeah. And like I said, if I was a multimillionaire, it would be that I would be taking care of my people so we can build something together where it's not anything financially coming from them. So if I have the money, then you got the money too. Right. And hey, let's put this together and let's put one in this place and put one in that place and let's all bubble up. RK, you got this one. Dwayne, you got this one. But we all eat off of it, right? And Dave, that's who I am. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm big on family. I got too much family not to do it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I think that's just extremely important that we can provide the examples to the people that are watching this cast and be able to we're just not talking about this. This is something that we live by, right? Yeah. And living by that is, your actions speak louder than any word. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it's just. When you can put yourself in a position where you can create the angle or situation or circumstance. Like, for example, it made my heart joy that I even had any type of connection for you to say, Dave, I'm trying to take my nephew to a game. Oh, yeah. And that I could have any connection like, okay, I got you. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes that might be that kid's only time of seeing an
whoever
NBA guy.
It may be.
Or that could be the thing that pushed him, you know what? Yeah. I want to be in that spot. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because it's instant motivation. Yeah. You don't know what it does in these young people. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So whenever you can lend a hand or be there for, I think that we just got to continue to push the envelope. Times get hard. Do we struggle at times? Yes. Do we go through crunches? Do we go through falls? Yes, but we cannot give up.
Yeah. And it didn't even have to be, because I know they went to the basketball game, but it didn't have to be, I wanted to be an inspiration about being on the floor. It could have been, I had inspiration of, me being the water boy, or me being a super boy, or me being the doorkeeper, or me being like,
or how do I own a team,
or how do I own a team, or how do I get in the box now? It just opens your, and that's with anything. Mm-hmm. That's what me going into the barbershop. Oh man, can I be the sleeper? Oh man, that's how you that's how you become an owner of the shop. Like just anything. And so starts. Yeah. I'm like, so it's a snowball effect. But I think like kind of what he had made mention to me before. At least that's a conscious effort that he makes. Right. Not to say we bat 1,000 and do everything perfectly, and we're just going around. You a black owner? You this? Like get this thing. Like we give out game, but it ain't like that's all in our mind. Like it just immediately when I see somebody in the bar in the grocery store, well, it's just not. That just don't happen. Yeah. But at least if an individual came to us, we would have that on the top of our mind.
Well, even and that's good, D. But I'm saying even more taking it to a thing that I know that I can speak on both of you guys. If I ever called you guys for anything, whether it was financial or physical labor or just to talk to, I know if you have it, I got it.
100%.
And I know that.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Or we got a ride. I just need to clear my head. You know what I'm saying? I'm going through something.
Yeah.
The kids ain't listening, man. I just need a break. Yeah. We need to just go chill.
Yeah.
You got to have people like that because you don't know what they've been through that can help inspire you to get through what you're going
That's
through.
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? And I think
Yeah.
that us as a people, and I'm talking to everybody that's watching the cast,
Yeah.
you can't do it by yourself.
No.
Sometimes we were raised that, you know,
Handle it
that
yourself.
you gotta,
Yeah.
That's manlike,
you don't need nobody's help.
Carry all the weight.
You don't need nobody's help that you can do this. No, you do need somebody's help.
That's tough.
Because if somebody just lived that
That's tough.
already that can find help, you find the easier way to get through it.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And I just think that all of us as a whole, we have to be better at that, using your resources. People are your resource. It's not always financial.
Yeah.
It is sometimes going to sit with people that are seasoned or that have wisdom that can help encourage you to be a better person in what you're trying to do.
That's right.
You know it's bigger than money when, Jay-Z tried to move in that neighborhood, even though he was a billionaire, couldn't move into the neighborhood because of who he didn't know. And if he would have known somebody who was in that neighborhood, he could have yet purchased a home in that. So it's not always about who you know. And that's not to say if you do things on your own that it won't get done. That's fine. It might get done. It might still be successful. But how much easier would it have been if you had a team around you?
Yeah.
Or how much lighter
That's
it could have
it.
been,
That's
or how
it.
much faster it could have been, or how quick it could have been developed, or this project could have came out a long time,
Man, that's
and
good,
so
man.
that's
That's
when you start looking at those things.
That's good right there. And can I give a live example?
Yeah.
We can't do this show without you.
Come on. Come on.
We can't do this show without him.
Come on.
You can't do the show without him. It's not going to look
It
right
ain't
with
gonna-
two of us
Yeah.
here in the third person.
It
We are a
don't.
trio
Yeah.
that makes this thing
It make it happen.
So if one of us can't do it, then none of us are going to do it.
All the time in the thread, we're like,
You know what I'm
can
saying?
you make it? Oh, well, we ain't making it. Okay, well,
We
then
ain't
we'll
doing
be
it.
there.
Right.
It'll be the next week, all right? You got a game you got to go
Right.
to. All right, well, then it'll be the next week.
And life happens.
It happened, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
As long as we continue to create
Right.
content, and because I know
Yeah.
at some point in time, it's going to be a place for us, and it's just going to go boom.
Come on.
It's gonna go boom.
And you be like, man, think about the time when we was
Man.
at this other
We was
destination.
at the what's the church called? We were at what's the church
Lake
called?
Miriam.
We were at Lake Miriam
Or
Church.
even
Remember
before that,
Remember we
where
was big
all
chilling?
sitting
Oh yeah,
on
remember we was in?
on one
Yeah,
seat.
on the couch.
And then now we have our
On the
own-
couch.
We own.
Yeah.
Shout out to
our
him
own-
though.
Come on.
Right.
Oh no, yeah, solid,
Right.
very
But
solid.
it's
Slapping
man. Yeah.
Yarmuckles. Yeah.
It's like your buckles, yes
Shout
sir.
out, man.
But I'm just
Big
saying,
slide, big
But
slide.
with him owning his, that was his deal.
Right,
That's what's
right.
up.
And so imagine us, we all got the keys. This is our studio.
Yeah.
And guess what? We got other people recording that's paying us
Yeah,
to record.
yeah,
Yeah.
I see that.
yeah. Come on, man.
So I envision these things because I know it's for the greater good of what we're doing it for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And there's no big eyes and little U's in this. And that's one thing that you got to realize, people. It's very authentic. It's from the heart. It's from the core. And we are just trying to provide the influences from our perspective.
That's it.
And then we also provide facts that back up the perspective. So it's not just we just talking from the dome. It's
Yeah.
not wilding out.
It can be.
You know what I'm
Sometimes it
saying?
is. I mean, sometimes it is, but yet still, that's just our opinion. You know?
Right.
Yeah, that's
But at
what's
the
up.
same time, it is definitely fact based. Some majority of the stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Hey man, I think this has been good, man. We
been
got to go
dope.
to the
Been really dope.
go to that favorite place,
Been
man. That I
dope,
like to
man.
go
Wow,
to.
wow, wow, wow.
But I need
I'm
you
not
guys.
gonna be immediately. I ain't thinking. I'm gonna just
I
give it to
need
you.
immediate
I'm gonna give it to you
answers.
Got you.
I'ma
got
give it to you.
Got you.
3 best holidays in order.
right now. 4th of July, because that's my birthday. Christmas, and then New Year's.
Yeah, I was gonna say 4th of July. I was gonna say Christmas. You know what I'm saying? And Juneteenth, just to change it up.
Come on, no, that's solid though. No, you're good.
Yeah,
Come on, I found it. If it came off the top of my head real quick, I would have got them, but it didn't come off.
Yeah,
Can you name?
I like New Year's though.
Can you name 3 presidents that hasn't been in the seat for the last 20 years?
That hasn't.
Yeah,
It has not.
Yeah.
Abraham Lincoln, FDR, and Jefferson.
Yeah, Roosevelt, Man, he said Lincoln already. I'm like, bro, I can't say the names. He already said Washington. Yeah, was it George Washington Carver?
Kennedy?
Carver?
No, he wasn't. No,
Not
he
George
wasn't.
Washington Carver. I did a. It's something. It's
No,
something
now
with a
you're
Ford.
getting out
It's
subject.
Ford something.
No,
It's something with a Ford. I promise you, I did an
There was
essay.
a Ford.
It's something Ford. It's something. He got a double name like Ford something Ford. But
You
man,
okay now?
yeah, I got about to say Obama, but he's been the last 20.
I said
Right.
Jefferson, but Jackson was the coldest.
I'm gonna go Bush father because Bush father was the 90s, right?
Yeah.
So that's yeah.
So you're good.
But
I seen a cold documentary on them guys.
Clinton was not. It was Clinton 99 too.
What is
Maybe 2000. Clinton.
what is your favorite color and why?
Favorite color?
Mine's is red.
Why?
I've always been a red kind of guy, even though I grew up on the hilltop and they was all Crips, and so they were blue. But I'm dead serious. Like
You don't even wear red.
I don't, but though every time I wear red, the wife be like, "Look, you look good in red," and I'm like, "Man,
So what's your favorite color that you don't ever wear it though?
I was just had on red, and I had a red jumpsuit on at this Saturday.
Okay.
A whole red sweatsuit.
Okay.
Saturday at the game.
Okay.
I wore all red. Matter of fact, I had red shoes on too.
What about you?
Green for the money, gold for the honey.
Yeah, come on. Hey, look.
Who is funnier? Chris Tucker or Chris Rock?
Oh man,
I'm gonna go Chris Tucker.
I'm gonna go Chris Rock.
Who was more of a gangster in the movie? Nino Brown or Frank Lucas?
Who Nino?
I respected Frank Lucas.
I respected it. Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
a gangster.
Yeah.
But Nino
was the coldest though.
Nino he didn't play no game.
Yeah, Nino.
Who was meaner? Doughboy or Old Dog?
Doughboy.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Doughboy too.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
He just didn't take no. He wasn't taking no.
No, for nobody.
Nah.
Look, you get knocked out. Look,
Yeah.
gunned down, beat with a belt.
Yeah.
House Party 1 or House Party 2?
House Party 1.
House Party 1.
House
Yeah.
Party 1 or Friday?
House Party 1. House Party.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was a pivotal time in my life, man.
Yeah.
But Friday's just a classic, man.
Yeah, Friday is a
so many
classic.
one-liners out of that,
Yeah,
man.
there is.
Yeah.
There is.
I'm gonna go Friday.
He said,
3 best athletes you ever saw with your own 2 eyes.
yeah.
3 best athletes.
You ever seen with your own 2 eyes. So this is not, I'm talking about any sport
Yeah.
that you've seen.
Yeah. I seen LeBron with my own 2 eyes
Okay.
a few times.
Talking about TV or
No, with your own 2 eyes in life.
With my own 2 eyes. I seen LeBron. I seen Ken Griffey with my own 2 eyes. Ken Griffey, and I seen Peyton Manning. I went to a Colts game. Colts in Seattle.
Okay. That's your 3.
He was a great, bro.
You're not a great athlete.
Oh well, look, I can't, my bad. Look,
He's
but
not a
I'm
great
like,
athlete.
I was thinking because yeah,
You saw Nate Robinson.
I did see
I was
that.
gonna say Spud Webb because I seen him when I was a kid.
I did
Going to
see
the
that.
Kings game. Spud Webb. I seen Barry Bonds.
Ooh.
Yeah, I
I've
saw
never
him
seen
when he was in
him.
the home run chase. That was dope.
But was he? Never mind. Go ahead.
Go
ahead.
And third, I guess LeBron James.
That's good. If you could take your wife anywhere tonight, where would it be?
That's a good question. That's a really good question. Really good. I really been thinking about this. I think I'm be seeing y'all 2 weeks from now. I might have a vacation, but I think I'm about to take the missus to Hawaii.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
Let's get away.
I think we're going to Hawaii.
Where'd you go?
For some reason, I want to go to South Africa. Like, if I could go right now, this moment, I'd
Right.
go to South Africa.
That's good.
Yeah, go
South
have dinner in
Africa,
South Africa. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the last question, what advice would you give a young person that's dealing with school, that's dealing with life,
Yeah.
that's dealing with issues?
Yeah, that's great. That's great that you do ask this question. This is really good, and I think I might have said it on previous podcasts before, but I am a firm believer, like we were just talking about earlier, is that you can't do everything by yourself. But at the same time, it's okay to ask questions. It's okay to ask for help. I was talking to a kid this morning. I think it was my first haircut this morning, and I was asking him how school was going. And then I know he run track, and I was seeing if he was going to track. He was like, "Nah, I'm not doing track because my grades was bad." And I immediately told him it's okay to not know. We have to get comfortable with it's being okay, because we think it's dumb. We think if I raise my hand, I'm being a dummy, or I don't know, or if it may take me longer to read this word, then I'm a dummy. That's not, or I'm stupid, or I can't learn. It's not that you're not dumb or you're not stupid. It's just it may take you, and you might process it a little different. So it might have to get broken down instead of it being 3 syllables, you might have to break it down a little longer and take a little bit more time. But it's okay to ask questions, and that's where I'm at now. In anything, it's okay to ask questions and be okay with not knowing.
That's good.
I think it's funny you asked this question because when I was back home in Sacramento, I spent some time with my nephew. His birthday just turned 16, but he sounds like we asking him. Everybody's asking, "Have you thought about what your next move?"
Right.
And he was like, "Nah, he really haven't put any thought into that." But it's been on my mind. Maybe I should start sending him things out there. Just things that kind of. Put in front of his face, some other options, some things he can see.
Exposure, at least.
Yeah, exposure so he can kind of think outside of the box and maybe try to pursue changing his circumstance.
That's good.
Yeah, I think, the advice that I would give him is basically, you can't, everything's not going to always come right to you though. You got to go searching for things and don't get complacent just looking at, what's in front of you. Start searching for what you want to do, searching for a path, and start pursuing that. I think that'll help him out. What I'm saying? You got to, life is a journey, and you got to take the first step. You know what I mean? And everything else will work itself out. But you got to take the first step and get out there and try.
Yeah, and I'm gonna echo just a little bit about that because I was at a service on Sunday, this last Sunday, and then you got to think about a handshake. In order for me to give you a handshake, I extend my hand, right? But you don't just leave your hand where it's at. Yeah. If I'm giving you a handshake, he would have to extend his also. Yeah. So not only am I doing a part of that service, but he's doing a part 50, also 50, right. to fulfill this agreement. You know what I'm saying? And so oftentimes a lot of us will extend that hand and think that if we just set that hand, that still agreement is still being made, but it's not. Yeah. So with that being said, you still have to do a part in your part of extending your hand also. You know what I'm saying?
My last question, gentlemen, for you both. What would you consider as your greatest gift?
Man, my greatest gift for me, and this is crazy that I'm glad that you're making mention of this. Mine's is compassion. Mine's is having a heart for others. And I think in this generation that we are kind of living in, that we're headed towards, I think we're missing a compassionate part. I think there's a difference between nurture because a woman just natural gift when she's born is to nurture, like to breastfeed or to care for the baby. Oh, you did this. But compassion is a completely different thing. So where if I do offend you, even if you're in the wrong for offending me, I yet still have so much compassion for you that I can come to you and apologize, even though you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? And that's having compassion. And so my greatest gift be I wear things on my sleeve. They say cancers. July babies, you'll know how they're feeling by you'll just know and count on them, you'll know. And so for me, I just have so much compassion, and I easily get over things because of that. Just compassion. And so for me, my gift would be compassion. I like interceding, and I like y'all been around me so long.
Yeah, that's dope, bro.
Throwing a football 150 yards.
Yeah!
Uncle Rico.
Move over the mountain.
Uncle Rico, man.
Say that boy, throw it out of the stadium, boy.
I would say, I gotta say my patience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's good.
Patience.
Patience is a virtue.
Yeah, that's what they say, man. And I grew up in a house. You know what I'm saying? I grew up when I was a kid. We grew up with my uncle. He was in a wheelchair. He had strokes, you know what I'm saying? So you had to be really patient to understand exactly what he was saying. Otherwise, he get frustrated, you get frustrated, nothing happens, you know what I'm saying? And then you kind of learn, been dealing with my mom who had schizophrenia, she had her mental health issues and things that she was dealing with and had to work through. You had to be real patient and understanding of her situation and understand exactly how she moved to navigate through the world and kind of see it from her perspective and try to understand to help her out so that you can contribute to her health and her success. You know what I'm saying? And then just different situations that I've been in, man. Just have to be real patient and understanding of people. And also in order to give myself some space, you know what I'm saying? Because otherwise you can crash out easily.
Yeah.
And there was a time where that was pretty much going to be the path, you know what I mean? Where I was going to make a stupid decision and crash out just because I was going to be impatient about something, just reacting too quickly, not thinking things through, not being level-headed about things. So I think my patience is my biggest strength at this point. Yeah.
That's good.
Man, what is your biggest strength out there, people?
Yeah.
What do you feel like you can give to this world to make it better?
Yeah.
And I don't want to sound cliche, but being honest, like what is your greatest gift that God has provided you with? And I want you to think about that. And if you don't mind, put it in the comments. We'd love to know what your strength is, where it comes from. Gentlemen, would you guys like to leave the people with anything at the end of this cast here today?
I ain't gonna lie to you, I'll pour it out, bro. So these last 3 or 4 questions, I was pouring a lot out. Look, I was giving game. Go back and hear it. Look, there's game in a lot of them.
For
so
sure.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, support Natural Queendom.
Come on.
Support Pumping Party Riddles. You know what I'm
Come
saying?
on.
Styles.
Skylines Barbershop?
Skylines Barbershop.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Continue to support and tell people about Only Pod, man.
Only Pod.
Exactly.
Hey, y'all
Like I
like,
said-
subscribe, share, bro.
Yeah, that's it,
right.
man. We love y'all, man. We
Man.
appreciate you guys listening, man.
Come
We'll
on,
see you
man.
next week. Only Pod can judge us.
Peace.
Only Pod can judge us.